we're basically going to talk about dividing up your income when you get irregular payments like an invoice or other, I'm not sure, you might have another way of getting paid. Basically, the problem I have is because I don't have like a monthly on the day salary, it's very hard for you to actually do like the 50, 30, 20 rule, stuff like this. So I was getting kind of annoyed because whenever an invoice came in, I was like, okay, well, how much do I actually put away of this? How do I divide this up to make sure that I am looking after myself in the weeks and months to come? And I am kind of staying on track, because every time you get an invoice in, you're just kind of ballparking it, aren't you? You know how much you're putting away. So basically I came up with like, first of all, you have to prioritize what your money goes towards. So for me at the moment, the prioritization is 1 is rent, 2 is fixed expenses, so like loans, bills, like bills for subscriptions, stuff like this, and then 3 is then just like personal spending money, and that kind of, so that looks after my rent, my kind of fixed expenses, and then my personal spending. So how I do it is I divide it up into 3 different buckets. So just imagine you have a bucket, and for each bucket you have a different percentage of weight for each item. So bucket 1 is you have 60% of the figure that goes into that bucket. So 60% goes to your rent, and then your other 20% goes to fixed costs, and then your other 20% goes to spending money. And then as soon as you hit that rent figure for the month, you then go into bucket 2. So once you check off that first priority, you go into bucket 2, and then the weighting of the payments, of the weighting of the bucket changes. So as if it overflows into bucket 2. So then all of a sudden it's like 50% is fixed costs, and then sorry, this is all net tax as well, just keep that in mind. So then 50% of your invoice goes to fixed costs, and then your other 50% goes to like personal spending. And then you're on to bucket 3, which is basically your fresh, and that's kind of how I do it per calendar month. It allows you to make sure that you lock off your rent or your goal rent savings if you're trying to get like a couple of months ahead on rent. So if you do 1.5 times, stuff like that. So I found that being the most efficient way of putting stuff away, which also makes sense, and you're not doing any guesswork. So there you go. Yeah, in White City here, just went to the gym, sauna. Now gonna go home and do something. I was gonna go to the cinema, but had to go on a waiting list for the movie, so I've got my big bag of jellies, because it's basically why I go to the cinema, is I just go and get the £5 bag of jellies. So I'm going to go home now and enjoy the day.